Protect your business from the fastest growing crime of the 21st century. Find out here. You're watching Technology Review. Hi, welcome to another episode of Technology Review for June 9th, 2017. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. Technology Review is a show that helps educate and inform you and your business on the mitigating damages of cybercrimes and identity theft. We also talk about little tech gadgets as well for your business and productivity, personal productivity. Did you know that every 2 seconds someone has their identity stolen by a cyber thief? And that over 16 million new victims every year and growing are reported to law enforcement regarding identity theft or some sort of cybercrime or scam. According to the Federal Trade Commission and the U.S. Department of Justice, identity theft and cybercrimes are the fastest growing types of crimes in America. While other crimes are on the decrease, these crimes are on the increase because they're invisible, folks. It has to do with technology. We're needing technology in our society more and more every day. And because of that, there are evildoers out there that would want to get your information and your data and, of course, sell it to other people and do nefarious activities with it. So, on our show, Technology Review, we talk about and inform you on a subject matter that I call cybersecurity awareness that can train you and your people in your organization, even your family, your children at home, to understand their responsibilities and about the bad guys that are out there. In other words, train your kids also on another type of stranger danger, okay? It has to do with technology as well. My name is Mac Jackson Jr. My programs and services, working along with law enforcement and other cybersecurity researchers and associations, help businesses mitigate those damages of identity theft by bringing information to you. We're here on WCOBM.TV every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you missed one of our shows, definitely go back and review this show on demand. You'll be able to see guests that I've had on the show regarding cybersecurity, industry professionals and industry experts that I've interviewed, talking about how you can mitigate the damage, how you can beat this and avoid having your information stolen on the black market. I'd like to thank all of our viewers and listeners of our show here on WCOBM.TV over the last 3 years now. It's been great. I want to give a quick shout out to them. They send me emails and ask questions and on Twitter and texts. They include this week, we're talking to Betty. There's Mickey from New Zealand. Wow, way down under New Zealand. Thank you, Mickey. We have Wendy. There's Mary, Jimmy, Amy, and the Cooper family. Yes, thank you everybody for being part of our show, being part of the family here on WCOBM.TV, and understanding our show on identity theft and cyber crimes. Again, we're here every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you'd like to reach our viewers and listeners of our show here at WCOBM, you can become a sponsor. We have awesome sponsors as well. You can contact my office at MJ Computer Concepts, and one of our representatives will get back to you to talk about how you can reach our audience demographics. Our phone number is 702-868-0808. That's 702-868-0808. Some of our awesome sponsors like to say hello to. They include CenturyLink, American Bankers Association, InSync, Virtual Desktop Solutions, Turin Consulting Group. We have Viking Technology Partners. We have New Horizons Learning Group, folks. New Horizons Learning Group, a great partner. That's why my workshops will be done here as well. And we also have a new partner that's joining us. We have new partners every week. One of our newest partners is a construction company called Martin Harris. That's right, Martin Harris Construction, one of the largest construction companies here in Las Vegas, building some tremendous casino buildings and resorts here in Las Vegas. So one of our partners as well, a great company. I want to thank all of our awesome sponsors. We have lots more, but I want to give you a sample of some of them. To be a part of it, you can send me an email at sponsors@macjacksonjr.com to be a part of our organization and be a part of our family here on WCOBM and Technology Review. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to my website here, macjacksonjr.com, because I have a book that's coming out, folks, and we're taking pre-orders on it now. It's called How to Protect Your Family from Identity Theft. It's full of stories of individuals and families that have gone through the tremendous ordeals of identity theft. And what we want to do is to present their stories to you so you can avoid some of their pitfalls so it doesn't happen to you. And there's even a story of a young 3-year-old, that's right, 3-year-old that owns a condo. Can you believe this? That's amazing how it can happen to folks out there. So find out more about it. Go to my website and pre-order my book, How to Protect Your Family from Identity Theft and Fraud, by going to macjacksonjr.com. That's macjacksonjr.com to find out more. In today's episode, we're going to talk about what is identity theft, why it's the fastest growing crime. I have my second segment under Business Spotlight. I have a great interview today that we're doing every month with one of our sponsors, and it's Vernon Dixon, who's going to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, folks, it's a cryptocurrency that is fascinating the world. Learn about it here, folks. I have the person here to interview to talk to about it. In our green energy technology, we talk about things that are involving EV equipment, electric bikes, electric vehicles, Internet of Things, which is another interesting and very up-and-coming technology, folks. IoT, the Internet of Things. These are things you really should be aware of because it's so fast, it's happening around you. And if you don't know about it, folks, it happens so fast that you'll accept it, not knowing what are the weaknesses and vulnerabilities, and you can also be damaged by it as well. So we talk about that and bring this to your attention as well. So it's a lot we're going to talk about today. Our show is very action-packed. So we'll start with understanding identity theft and cyber crimes. As I mentioned earlier in my monologue, cyber crimes are committed by cyber thieves from around the world, but they could be also your next-door neighbor. It could be a coworker that's disgruntled with their job. The weakest link in the business is a disgruntled employee versus a hacker from another country or somewhere around the world or somewhere in the universe. The major person is that disgruntled employee. So it's very important that your employees are trained and are aware, using cybersecurity awareness, that the organization that they work for understands and it has acknowledged and they are in compliance, that is, with the new rules and regulations regarding cybersecurity, and making sure their employees are trained as well. So if the employees are trained in cybersecurity awareness, understand what's going on, it makes it harder for the identity thief or the cyber crook to try to steal data from the business. So it's very important you do that. As far as individuals, make sure, let's go over a couple steps you do as an individual. Always check your credit report. The credit report is one of the major things that you should check. Check your credit report, folks, and check it for everybody in your family, even people that are under 18 years of age. Yes, absolutely. Find out more about that. Get my book. You'll see a story of a 3-year-old that owns property. It's incredible. But definitely check your credit report. It can affect everything that you do. In our society now, how technology is going faster and faster, as I mentioned earlier in my monologue, you now have a credit score that affects your lifestyle, everything you do in your life, from buying a home, getting car insurance, folks, and even getting a job. Why is your credit report important? It is. It's a tremendous important. And it's important that you find out about yours and make sure that you fight hard to keep it at a good high number. And you monitor it. So it's very, very important that you do that. When you are using your laptops and smartphones, how many of you out there right now listening to me have antivirus software on your smart device? I mean your smartphone like this. How many of you have antivirus software installed? Probably not many, right? Thinking now it's unnecessary. Well, your phone is nothing more than a smaller version of your desktop, laptop, or tablet. You need to have antivirus software on it, giving you extra layer protection. There's also things you need to do when you're traveling and using free Wi-Fi and hotspots around the city, or in a hotel or a coffee shop. You need to make sure you have a VPN, or virtual private network, to give you extra layer protection. These are just some of the things that you will learn by being a part of my program here on my website, macjacksonjr.com. Join our Protection Connection community, folks, for only $19.95. You can have access to an exclusive amount of information and tips and techniques that can help benefit you and your family and your business. The best way is to go to my website at macjacksonjr.com, sign up for our Protection Connection community, take one of my workshops, purchase our books, and you will be one step ahead of the cybersecurity thieves that are out there trying to get your data and sell it in underground to the black market. I say this all the time, I'm sure you've heard it before, knowledge is power. The new currency of the 21st century, folks, is information. Who has information rules the world. Don't let that be you the one they're ruling. Okay? We'll see you back right after these messages. See you then. Thanks. Welcome to the Live.
Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Our Young and Brewers.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks.
Danny Vegas time.
Hello and welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like our show. You also can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr. And now you can find me also on LinkedIn. Go to linkedin.com/IN/Mac Jackson Jr. Be able to see information of what I've done with my companies and stuff and what I can do for your business regarding cybersecurity, identity theft, workshops, trainings, and a whole plethora of information that we can share and help protect your company and your business from identity theft and fraud. Visit my website at macjacksonjr.com. This is our Business Spotlight segment. And our Business Spotlight segment, I'd like to welcome our guest, Vernon Dixon.
All right, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, right on, Vernon. Yes, we're going to talk Bitcoin. There's been a lot going on with Bitcoin.
They're absolutely true. Bitcoin has jumped the tracks and kind of hit over the $3,000 mark.
$3,000 mark already?
$3,000 mark. It's settled back a little bit. Right now, it's only running at about 28.68, but that's what happens with what's going on. So there's a lot of things that are happening that causes that.
So why do you think this is going on with Bitcoin? Why is it becoming so? It seems like it's been up and down, and now it's really going up again, especially all the threats that are happening with cybersecurity. Why is Bitcoin taking off so much?
Yeah, when you're talking about the threats with cybersecurity, I was just reading an article the other day talking about some of the companies are buying Bitcoin so that they can pay ransomware, because that's what the ransomware proponents are looking for. Bitcoin.
So they're actually buying Bitcoin.
They're buying Bitcoin
and saving it
to pay off ransom.
Buying Bitcoin, saving it just in case there's a ransomware attack.
Exactly.
They can pay. Isn't that incredible, folks? You hear that? They're buying Bitcoin. Wow. That's I mean, that's a small piece of what's going on with Bitcoin. Yes.
In terms of even the thieves want Bitcoin. But the other part of that is that some of the countries are taking cryptocurrencies as their approved revenue.
Okay.
Japan has accepted it. The Philippines has accepted it. The 1st of August. Australia will take it as an official currency as well, and so we're looking for a bump over to the $3,000 mark when that happens as well.
Interesting. Why haven't we taken it in the U.S.?
U.S. is a little bit slower about everything. I mean, we have the financial institutions that are fighting it because they haven't figured out a way to make money with it yet.
I see.
So,
and governments can't find a way to tax it yet either.
They haven't found a way to tax it yet. So,
yes.
But what they're doing is they're finding ways around that in terms of using the blockchain technology to develop applications around that, and so they can tax those companies that are in that environment as well. The interesting thing is that Nevada, the governor just passed a bill that we're not going to tax Bitcoin in Nevada.
Really? They actually passed the bill?
They passed the bill already. We're not going to tax Bitcoin.
As far as sales tax?
As far as sales tax, right.
Interesting.
Correct.
That's a very good,
that's
really
awesome.
Good information. Yeah.
That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that really was very, very good for that. Well, this whole thing with Bitcoin and, of course, the cyber threats that we talk about on our show, if there was a breadcrumb trace within the transaction, we could actually find who the bad guy is on the other side accepting it. So during the creation or development of the blockchain, do you know if that's something that that researchers in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are going to be adding to this cryptocurrency, where you can actually find out where the so-called anonymous person, who they really are? Unmask the anonymous person.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do too with some of the technology behind blockchain. They're trying to put in some components that will allow them to, on some level, to trace back the transactions themselves, not the entities that are that are creating the transactions, but the transaction themselves. As an example, back in the day, well, a few years ago, when they had a company called Silk Road. Silk Road was a company that selling drugs online.
Yes.
And so it took several months or almost a year for them to try to track that back to the person who actually was involved in Silk Road. But they didn't find all the information off the blockchain. It was a surveillance component that took place as well. And then there was also somebody who turned him in.
Right, who also had the ego as well. And kind of threw it out there in the face of law enforcement. So that's how they also got him. He wasn't quite, he was pretty greedy with it. Right?
But there's a lot of things available on that. So,
absolutely. So the blockchain is so out there, so people understand. The blockchain is that's the backbone of the cryptocurrency. How the cryptocurrency transmits data from point A to point B. Right.
It's basically equivalent to the internet. I mean, it's another component of the internet, and basically you can track the very first transaction with Bitcoin all the way back to the beginning. In terms of when it first started in the whole transaction. I mean, and so there's so many people involved in the network. Everybody kind of has a piece of the blockchain on their computer and can go back and track it. So it's a phenomenal piece of technology. And the interesting thing that's happening now is that they're finding out that people are so interested in Bitcoin is slowing down the whole network, because Bitcoin's blockchain was set up to distribute tokens or the money. But some of the other cryptocurrencies have been developed around other technologies. So, for instance, Ethereum, what they call Ether. That is being developed for contract management, and so they see a lot of flexibility in that technology. And so I got into Ether when it was $8, and now it's $256 because of that technology implementation, and it's going to get even bigger and bigger in terms of what's going on with that.
Incredible! Wow, that's amazing. So you see also that cryptocurrency is something that countries are starting to utilize, even down to the city. So here in Las Vegas, there are some merchants that are using Bitcoin.
Yes, yeah. The D
example, tell the audience how that works a little bit.
Yeah, the D is using Bitcoin. Hotel, yeah, the D. So you can buy breakfast there. You can go to the gift shop. You can do that. Also, as I mentioned the last time I was on the show, Mike Tyson will have 100 ATMs around there as well. But all it is in terms of a transaction, everybody has a private wallet. I mean, even the
electronic wallet,
even the businesses have a wallet, and so all you need to do is when you pay for it, you show your code to their code, and it subtracts the money for that particular item. Right. One of the reasons that this is going to get even bigger is because when Japan makes it official, well, then they're working on it now. They'll also have over 260,000 businesses that will be accepting Bitcoin right out the door. Wow. So that's going to help it to increase as well.
That is going to be phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
It's absolutely, it's wonderful.
Well, okay, let's go back to the merchant here. So let's say the D, right? Can you pay for your room, do you know, or your hotel reservations using Bitcoin?
They haven't moved it for the D. They haven't moved it to that area yet. Okay. But there are some like Cheap Air. You can buy an airline ticket through Cheap Air. So there are other hotels around the country that will take Bitcoin for it. What is interesting is that there's some pushback for some of the merchants because there is such a flexibility in Bitcoin.
Oh, the value.
The value of Bitcoin. So what they're doing is looking at some of the other currencies that aren't as volatile as that, like Ethereum. There's another one called Ripple.
Ripple, yes.
Litecoin, Dash.
Like the drink?
I remember that. There was a company.
The wine, was it?
That was the wine.
Called Ripple back in the day.
But there's a company called Ripple now that has produced the tokens for Ripple. And right now would be a good time to get involved in Ripple because right now it's running about 34 cents. I got involved when it was 21 cents. And so that's going up because 10 financial institutions, I apologize for that.
No problem.
10 financial institutions have signed on to Ripple, again, to use their blockchain to develop applications for it.
Incredible. So they're going to be, so all these cryptocurrencies are going to be competing with one another to dethrone Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They're trying to dethrone Bitcoin.
They're expecting, particularly Ethereum, to outpace Bitcoin.
Look at
so
that.
If you did get into Bitcoin when it was under 200, Ethereum right now is 256, so you can still do it before it gets to 300.
Amazing. Vernon, this was really, really good. Well, I'd like to keep you over for the next segment as well. Talk more about that. Right, we'll be right back here after these messages here on Technology Review. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Welcome to the Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Roxy.
Anything is time.
welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Give us a thumbs up, like our show. Find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr. LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/Mac Jackson Jr. Or go to my website at macjacksonjr.com. Find information on cybersecurity. Remember, folks, education is our best defense against a cyber attack, and information is the new currency. Speaking of currency, we're talking with cryptocurrency here with Vernon Dixon. How you doing? Welcome back for the next.
Thank you. I appreciate
segment.
getting back here.
I want to carry him over to talk to us more about Bitcoin and how to get involved with it. What does it cost us? So, Vernon, if an individual wanted to say, "Hey, I want to get involved in this Bitcoin. I have $100. What do I do?" How would you advise them on doing that?
Well, I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm going to give you a site that you can take a look at, and it'll give you a lot of information on cryptocurrency and how to get a wallet, how to actually purchase Bitcoin, and how to do some things. And that site is called WeUseCoins.com. It's just WeUseCoins.com. So go to that site. It has a lot of information in there. If you're not comfortable still trying to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency yourself, you can reach out to me, and I can help you with that. I can help you start for as low as $25 up to whatever the number is. I mean, $10,000 contracts I have as well. So, and also it depends on your risk or your tolerance for risk. That would also determine what type of program that you want to be involved in, because there is some that are extremely safe, but there's a lot of them out there on the market that aren't safe. And so I try to steer people in the direction of obviously being safe, because you know, I've gone through the ups and downs of finding out about this industry as well. So I've lost money in doing this, but I'm earning more now based on the losses, the learning that I've had.
Interesting.
And so I try to help everybody else avoid those pitfalls.
About education, folks.
Yeah.
Back to education. So let's compare the Bitcoin wallet to the current popular wallets that are out now. We have the Apple wallet, right? We have a Samsung wallet, and these electronic wallet, folks, are within your smart device,
Yep.
your smartphone, smart device. You use it to buy products and services. You just take it to the merchant, you wave it over their point of sale machine at the store, and it transfers monies from your wallet to the merchants for the products or services. Bitcoin will be very similar to that, or is it different?
I mean, in terms of how it operates, Bitcoin would be exactly that type of scenario.
Okay.
The issue with Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies is that those transactions are anonymous in terms of if you make a transaction at a particular facility, yeah, you can track that, but your particular wallet can't be tracked because that's computer generated. It's not setting at the Apple store or wherever the other stores are. So it's an anonymous wallet that you can pay back and forth from.
Anonymous wallet.
Yeah.
So it being, harp on this anonymous part of it, is that what we are saying anonymous on the front end, but actually on the back end? Because I'm a programmer myself.
Yeah.
There has to be code within it that you can trace back that anonymous transaction. Is there talk about that you know about?
You can trace the transaction back because the transaction is setting in the blockchain.
Right.
But it doesn't go to your specific wallet. The transaction is tracked, but not your wallet.
The transaction, not the wallet.
Yes.
Okay. Reason I asked that, there was an article, you might have read it, something about the U.S. House of Representatives just passed a bill about Bitcoin. They were just talking about this recently, and they were wanting to find out more information about it, how they could track it, knowing the people who've done it. Of course, they want to tax it. I'm sure they have there are more.
Yeah, that's what they're really looking for.
But in the article, they're talking about that it's also Bitcoin has been allegedly being used in terrorist organizations across the country, transmitting money transactions they can do because it's anonymous.
Right. And you're right. They are trying to figure out a way that they can track those types of transactions down to find out who's doing what.
Right.
And it is a more difficult situation than they, I guess, thought initially.
Right.
But they haven't come up with a solution yet. Okay. And so the option around that is to try to tax on the back end, or I mean on the back end.
Back end. Okay.
In terms of trying to track that piece of it. But you're right. I mean, terrorists not only use Bitcoin, but they use regular money. I mean, it's the same. They're just using a different currency to do that. Rather than fiat currency, they're using a digital currency.
True. But with Bitcoin, there's no one there to see who delivered the cash.
Correct.
There's cash, they know the person is, they can get them there. You know?
Correct. I mean, if you're buying Bitcoin, I mean, I use, I mean, so you got a bank in the middle of the transaction in terms of transferring funds from the bank to your exchange in order to buy your Bitcoin. From that perspective, they can say, well, you made a transfer to a bank, or you made a transfer to an exchange, but that's the extent of it.
Right, that's all they know.
Right,
all the records.
They don't know what you've done with the money. They don't. As a matter of fact, one of the last transactions I had, the banker asked me, "What are you doing with the money?" I said, "I'm buying stuff." And so they couldn't go any further than that because that's what I'm doing. I'm buying stuff. And they didn't need to know. But the issue also is that they're tracking people from the banking perspective in terms of those that are buying and selling Bitcoin trying to make a profit. On the one hand, if you buy Bitcoin and you keep it in your wallet and just let it rise, that's fine. If you buy Bitcoin, let it rise, and you can sell it out of your account as long as you keep track of it, just in case one day they come back with a tax issue. So
I see. So you're saying you should have enough Bitcoins saved
to do that. Yes.
So Bitcoin can be a savings account as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, so
I got my son and a couple of nieces and nephews involved in it, and I gave them $100 to get started, and I put $75 in a mining contract so that they can create Bitcoin themselves, or Bitcoin and Ethereum themselves. And also I had them save $25 in a wallet. Okay. In the wallet, they can watch the growth of Bitcoin, because when I talked to my nephew the other day, it only had his wallet up for about 15, 20 days or something like that. Okay. And that $25 had gone to 73.
Really?
So just sitting there doing nothing.
Sitting there doing nothing.
He was excited about that. So he said, as soon as I get some more money, I want to get involved. So that's what it is. Teach your kids to do cryptocurrency. That
would be really interesting. Yeah, start them out young to investing cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I'm planning on. I've got 5 grandkids. I'll have 6 because my son wants to have another one. But I've told him, and he's managing the account to pay off all of my grandkids' college fund. So as far as I'm concerned, they're done.
Wow.
They're done.
That is incredible, folks. Incredible. Really incredible. So you got really excited about this. This is really, really exciting. I definitely like to participate and get involved in that too, because that sounds like something really amazing, especially being on the front, the new venture. Yes. New frontier we're moving forward with, right? Cryptocurrency. Yeah. But again, I'm really concerned with the cybersecurity part of it, making sure it's safe.
Well, I mean, and that's something that I try to do as well. And I'm bringing on some additional information or areas where we talk more about the security of cryptocurrency and making it safe. But I mean, I venture to say that if you've thought about it, if you've seen it, if you know anything about it, do the next step. I always tell people, Google it. Google it. That's a verb. It's an action word. Google it. Take the time to take a look and see what's going on with it. Whether you get involved or not, but at least you'll know what's going on, so that when Bitcoin does go to $10,000 per coin, you won't be able to say nobody told me about it, because we're telling you about it.
Exactly. Exactly. Is there an organization I could be involved with too, a group, a meetup group here locally in Vegas you were mentioning?
As a matter of fact, we have a meetup group. I'm in one of the clubs that I'm in. It's called Bit Club, and we do presentations around as well. Great. So I can make sure that information is passed on.
Great, very good.
And start educating people. If they want to do face-to-face education, we can do that. Otherwise, we do Zoom or Skype or whatever.
Facebook Live.
Yes.
Nice. Very, very good.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Vernon, again, being here on our show and talking about Bitcoin. Next month, let's talk again about how Bitcoin is. What is it now? 3,000?
It's just shy of 3,000.
Wow.
So next month it'll be over. Yeah, it'll be over that. So
amazing.
Awesome. So
well, thanks again, Vernon. Expect Vernon to be here with us next month as well, talking about Bitcoin. You're watching Technology Review.
And thank you.
Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks.
Danny Vegas time. Welcome to the Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks.
Danny Vegas time.
Hi, welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Remember to give us a thumbs up. Go to Twitter, twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr., linkedin.com/IN/Mac Jackson Jr., or my website, macjacksonjr.com. Find information on cybersecurity awareness for your organizations and your family as well. Learn about how to protect yourself from the fastest growing crime in the 21st century. That's identity theft and cyber crimes. In this segment, we call it the new tech gadgets as well as green energy technology. I'm going to put them all together in one segment. It's been a great show today. I want to give a shout out again to Vernon Dixon for being a part of our show today, talking about Bitcoin. Follow me, you'll find out more information. You want to find information about Vernon and Bitcoin, definitely send me an email and a link, and I'll make sure you get that information. All right, so under tech gadgets, it's important to talk about this, folks. I want to give you some tech gadgets that you should have on your smart device. In other words, your smartphone. Your smartphone, folks. Nothing more than a small computer. Smartphones are your tablets. These are very, very powerful computers, folks. There's more information in these little handheld devices that were in the entire NASA program in the 1970s, okay? So we have access to tons of information. We have to make sure that it's protected. Hackers are now looking to acquire our personal identifying information by going through our smartphones because information has been passed to all of us now. Learning about our laptops, we must have antivirus software on our laptops and our desktops, but we don't have it on our smart devices, our phones. So now hackers are trying to get to you using your smart devices. You may say, well, how do I get to my phone? Lots of different ways. Wi-Fi is one of the chief ways. You have Wi-Fi on your phone and you turn it on when you want to hop on a Wi-Fi, folks, because why? It's free. That's right, isn't it? It's free. It's free to surf the internet on a free hotspot, not use your data plan. If you don't have unlimited minutes and unlimited surfing on your phone, unlimited text, talk, and all the rest of the noise, you wish to get on a free Wi-Fi spot, you hop onto it. Your phone doesn't know if the Wi-Fi spot is a secured or a safe Wi-Fi spot. No, it just jumps on it. It could be one of a illicit hotspot from a cyber thief. So it's important that you have a VPN on your devices when you're going on hotspots. It's important that you have antivirus software. So just remember those things. Very important. Next, I also want to give you a text, if you would. If you would text my name, M-A-C-K, MAC, that's M-A-C-K, to 444999, and you'll be a part of our cybersecurity protection connection community. Receive information on how to protect yourself and your family from identity theft and other cyber crimes, fastest growing crimes of the 21st century. Also, we have workshops coming up, and I have a book coming up as well, so you'll get information on all these different products and services that can benefit your business, your company. Very important you have this data and this information, so definitely contact my company, MacJacksonJr.com, for this information to protect your machines. Let's talk about, which we didn't cover last week, I wanted to talk about protecting your passwords when you're on the internet. You're in your browser, Chrome, Google, Safari, or any one of the browsers that you're utilizing, and you have tons of passwords, user IDs that you acquired to get your work done for personal and for business, right? Trying to remember all these passwords can be daunting. I see clients all the time writing down their user IDs and passwords on pieces of paper and then filing that piece of paper somewhere. Well, if you lose that piece of paper, you basically created currency, folks. You created currency from nothing. And in our country, only the U.S. Department of Treasury can create currency. But you can create currency yourself by taking a blank piece of paper and writing down your credit card information or your user ID and your password information on a piece of paper. It's currency, folks, because in the hands of a wrong person, they'll take that data and sell it in the darknet, in the black market. So I advise you is having a password management system as an add-on within your browsers that you're utilizing. What a password management system will do, it will remember and record and save all of your user IDs and passwords for you. Now it does that so that you don't have to try to remember all these passwords. It can be very, very daunting. All you have to remember is one user ID and one password. And again, your password, I'm also recommending that you should take advantage of the 24 or 25 character passwords and have a passphrase, something that you and your family will know and no one else will. It makes it harder for the cyber thieves to try to figure out. And have it something you could recognize, folks. So you could have special characters built within, that's fine, but do something different. One of my friends showed me that their password in their system was set up as their phone number. And I'm like, phone number? Why would you just have your plain phone number? No characters in the front or the back? Or have it a regular English sentence, like this is my phone number, and then have the phone number with an exclamation point or some sort of ending period or something behind it. But no, they just had the phone number. It was just too easy to figure out. I was telling them this is not smart because the thieves, all they need to do is know your phone number, and then now they have access to your router and your home and your system. And with that access, they can have access to your security system. Not a good idea, folks. Not a good idea. And you think that well, I got this email before. People say, well, won't they tell me that at Best Buy or one of these technology companies when I buy my router or how to set this up? No, it's not going to be told to you that way because there's so many options, there's so many third-party products that all interconnect. You're not going to know which one to utilize. So that's why you need to find a consultant, read about it, Google it, or contact my office. We'll be able to tell you about it. So those are some of the things on the new tech gadgets. As far as green energy technology, let's talk about that for a second. I also want to give shout outs to the Chevy Bolt, Chevy Bolt, Chevy B-O-L-T. It is the electric vehicle. It's on the market today. I got a chance to sit in one, and it was not bad, folks. Not a bad vehicle. It's definitely the first step. Getting about 217 miles to a charge, not bad, not bad. First step of having a fully electric running vehicle. However, I still like the Chevy Volt. That's spelled V-O-L-T. It's kind of confusing, I know, but the Volt is V-O-L-T. It's much bigger. It looks like a sedan. It's a hatchback. Lots of room inside. The front part of the car where the driver sits at, there's lots of room, lots of leg room and headroom as well, because I'm tall, about 6'2" myself, so I was able to sit there very, very comfortably. And to charge your Chevy Volt takes about between 4 to 6 hours on a regular charge. There's fast chargers popping up all over the U.S. Here in Las Vegas, you'll find fast chargers all over the place. But I'll let you know, having a Chevy Volt, you don't have to worry about running out of fuel because there is a small gasoline engine that is a generator that helps generate electricity for the battery that charges the car. So you never run out of energy. I've talked to a few people who are owners of the Chevy Volt, and some of them have said that they fill up their car with gas every other month. Go 2 months without putting gas in your car and they're driving all over town with it. Imagine that, folks. That would be amazing to have that luxury, right? And convenience, of course, having electric vehicles. So electric vehicles are coming a long way. But with all those said about the Chevy, my perfect electric car that I always talk about on the show, and that has to be Tesla. From Tesla Motors. You can find it at teslamotors.com. The Tesla Model 3 is scheduled to be released sometime at the end of this year or next year. People have put in their reservations last year for their Tesla Model 3, and rumor has it how it looks. They're changing the internal circuitries, how it's set up, but it's going to be an amazing car for the first time having a car that is very classy, looks very similar to the Model S, and it should be under $35,000. That is phenomenal right there, under $35,000 for an electric vehicle. Those are just some of the things that we have. We talk about on the show, Internet of Things, IoT. Internet of Things, that's when devices in your home talk to each other to the router. In other words, to get to the internet, the devices in your home, such as your home security system, your lighting, cameras, all of it, has to use the router. That's the Internet of Things. And it's very important that you understand that security is very, very important for these devices to make sure they're safe. We'll talk more about that in upcoming shows here on Technology Review. But first, I want to give a shout out to the next show that's coming up. It's called Geeks Are Sexy, and I told Michelle that I'd wear the glasses. There we go. There you go, Michelle. Wearing the glasses, promoting her show. Next show here called Geeks Are Sexy with Michelle Davis. It's a great show. She has some really good guests as well. We have a lot of good guests and great hosts on our show here on WCOBM.TV, so definitely stay tuned. To find out more about Technology Review and my show, you can go to my website at macjacksonjr.com. That's macjacksonjr.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Definitely all over the place here. It's called Omnipresence. We want to be everywhere. Everyone, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week here on Technology Review TV. Stay safe, folks. See you then.
live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
I Yelling Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Roxy.
Danny Vegas time. Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
I Yelling Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Roxy.
Danny Vegas time.
The business world is changing faster than at any other time in our history. The ability to lead others to meet the challenges of the 21st century has become critical to a successful career. But where do you find effective leadership training?
I'm Jason Leduc, and I founded Evil Genius Leadership Consultants to bring the most effective and practical leadership training to the young people who need it most and help grow the next generation of great leaders. The world's most successful individuals have all recognized the importance of leadership and applied it in their own endeavors. The team here at Evil Genius Leadership has built careers as successful officers in the U.S. military, leading highly skilled teams on missions of national security and international order. And we want to help bring that experience to you to help you become a great leader who leads your team to success.
So why call ourselves Evil Genius Leadership? Well, we know that everyone has a great idea or ambition inside them that they want to realize, and we're here to help people turn those ambitions into reality in a way that's exciting and enjoyable. Climbing the corporate ladder, running your own business, or leading your team to victory all require a singular dedication to being the best you can be and getting maximum performance out of the people around you. Evil Genius Leadership offers products to help you sharpen the leadership skills required to get that maximum performance. We host multiple workshops and can tailor events to meet corporate level training, as well as offer individuals one-on-one coaching with professionals. Regardless of the challenge, Evil Genius Leadership can help you conquer it. Whether you're seeking world domination, trying to bring a new product to market, or want to be selected as the team lead for your company's next exciting project, the coaches at Evil Genius Leadership Consultants can develop you into a leader who gets maximum performance from their team. So if you're ready to elevate yourself and others to that next level of greatness, contact us and we'll show you how we can help. Remember, the future is out there. Lead the way.
Hey, welcome to Geeks Are Sexy. I'm Michelle Davis, your host. Thank you so much for joining us live in Las Vegas at WCOBM.TV. Hey, if you want to strengthen your leadership skills, I got the Duke over here. That's Jason Leduc. He's from Evil Genius Leadership Consultants, and he's going to be going over all the secrets that he has to share for today when it comes to having an effective business meeting. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the show.
Great. Thanks to be here.
Absolutely. So before we go into Evil Genius Leadership, let's talk about you going into the military. Why did you choose to join the Air Force?
I always wanted to be a pilot. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a pilot and an astronaut. So when I went off to college, I joined Air Force ROTC and did 4 years in ROTC cadet and got commissioned in the Air Force. And I didn't end up getting to be a pilot, but I got to go do engineering. I studied engineering in college. I got to do some flight test engineering, work in a research lab on space projects, and do some.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really great. I got to do a lot of really cool things that were really on the
geeky stuff.
Yeah, a lot of cutting edge technology stuff. At least cutting edge technology back then, and now it's very commonplace today. But that was kind of the genesis of that. The impetus there was I wanted to go off and be an astronaut and be a pilot. And
that was so cool.
And I found a whole different career that was, I think, just as rewarding and just as fulfilling.
Which was?
The going in doing the engineering and the flight testing, and now awesome. I take the leadership lessons that I learned, which you mentioned the secrets. To me, they're not really secrets. They're tried and true leadership methods that we've been using in the military for decades, and I just want to bring that out to the civilian and the corporate world because I feel like there's some things that could really help there.
Absolutely. I mean, you were in the Air Force for 20 years as an officer, and on one side you saw all of the high-tech technology and how things are run when it comes to flying and just doing absurd things that are crazy cool. But on the other side, you probably saw everyday ordinary people who were kind of struggling with their life or in business or whatever, and you kind of thought to yourself, I think I could help them just because of the fact that you know these leadership skills that were trained to you prior in the Air Force, that you were kind of wanting to help people, and that's how you started your business.
Absolutely. And yeah, leadership at the end of the day is a people business. It's not about things, it's not about resources, it's not about how much money you have or where you're going to put people or what job they're going to do. It's about people and what motivates people and what motivates you. And when I work with my clients, whether it's in a workshop or in one-on-one coaching, one of the first questions that I ask them, the first two questions that I ask them, and that I ask them to continue to ask themselves throughout our time working together and their time as leaders is, who am I, and what kind of leader do I want to be? And those are the questions that I ask myself on a day-to-day basis, and I ask everyone that I'm working with, and encourage everyone who wants to be a great leader to go off and ask yourself those questions. Who am I, and what kind of leader do I want to be?
Evil Genius Leadership Consultants. Where did you get the name Evil Genius?
I actually got that name from a friend of mine when I was living in Alabama, and I was thinking about starting the company. I hadn't settled on a name, and if you've ever tried to start a company, you have to go look for a name that's unique, that's not going to get lost in the shuffle of all the other companies' names, and you don't want it to be too much like any other company name out there that does what you do. And there's a lot of really big leadership consulting firms in the United States, and a lot of smaller ones too, and a lot of the words about inspiring and generational and transformational and all those kinds of things that have kind of already been taken by people.
Oohs and ahs, and you're kind of like,
yeah, and
those sticks out a little bit.
Yeah, and those words had kind of all been taken by other companies, but I did want something. I wanted something that stuck out a little bit, and I wanted it to be something that reflected that everybody has an inner ambition, something that they want to bring into the world, some kind of
big value.
Yeah, absolutely, some kind of master plan they want to achieve. But I also wanted people to understand that this isn't about taking yourself too seriously. If you take yourself too seriously, you're going to have a really hard time connecting with the people you're trying to lead.
That's why he's wearing lime green glasses.
That's right.
And they're so cool. So also, I want to tell you guys that if you go to evilgeniusleadership.com and you sign up for his newsletter, you get a free bonus gift. Tell him what that gift is.
So if you go to evilgeniusleadership.com, click on the box on the side, put your email address in, and we will email you our free leadership development plan workbook. And what that workbook is, it's about a 6-page workbook, and it steps you through a process that I didn't create myself, but have kind of refined and developed over the years that other mentors helped me with, to determine what your goals are for the next 2, 5, and 10 years, and what skills and traits you'll need to achieve those goals, and then build a plan to take action steps to achieve those goals. So if you're interested in that, go download that, go click on that link, and we'll email you that workbook, and you can just sit there, and the workbook, the electronic version of the workbook, has links to all the videos on our YouTube channel that go along with each little module of the workbook, so you can get almost one-on-one coaching from me as I walk you through doing each section of the workbook.
Isn't that cool, guys? Free gift, no-brainer, evilgeniusleadership.com. And tell them about your oh-so-cool YouTube channel, Evil Genius Leadership.
Yeah, YouTube channel is something I'm really proud of. I started it about 2 years ago, a little longer. There's a couple videos. There's a couple really old ones on there. So if you go watch that YouTube channel and you watch some of the older videos, be a little kind, because I didn't really know what I was doing yet.
You needed to practice at first.
And being on camera is a little bit of a skill, and I'm even a little nervous doing this right now.
Well, he's going to be on every month on Geeks Are Sexy to give more business tips. We're going to play a video on how to have an effective business meeting. Give a little details before we play this video, what it's about.
Yeah, the video talks about some of the 4 or 5 tips I've got on how to have an effective business meeting. And I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but the first tip is really have a plan going in. That's the most important thing when you have a meeting, is to have a plan going in and stick to that plan as best you can. You've also got to be a little bit flexible to take into account new information and different opinions and perspectives. I don't want to take away too much from the video because I want you to watch it. But
so we're going to play the video right now. I'm just kidding. We're going to play the video right now. He's going to be on next month. Jason, thank you so much for stopping by Geeks Are Sexy. And don't forget evilgeniusleadership.com. Check it out and get their free gift. All right, guys, stay tuned. You're watching Geeks Are Sexy.
Do you hate going to meetings? I think pretty much we all do. But I've got a few tips today to help you make your meetings go better. Welcome back, and congratulations on taking one more step towards becoming one of the great leaders of tomorrow. Let's be honest, most of us dread going to meetings because we feel like they're going to be a waste of our time. Today I've got 4 tips for you that'll make your meetings stand out above everyone else's, and stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you a link to download our workbook to develop your own personal leadership development plan. So when I was a young lieutenant in the Air Force, about a year into my career, I was talking to one of the other young lieutenants where I was working, and he said, all my meetings I keep to an hour or less because I feel like meetings become unproductive after about an hour. And I had to agree with him, and that's kind of a guideline I've used throughout my career. Now, it's not always possible to keep a meeting to under an hour. Sometimes there's just too much you've got to get done. But here are 4 tips, no matter how long your meeting's going to be, that you can have a successful meeting that people won't feel like you're wasting their time. Tip number 1 for effective meetings, have a clear purpose and make sure everyone coming to the meeting knows that purpose. A lot of times meetings drag on because people will bring up things that aren't related to the purpose of the meeting, but because they've got all the right people in the same room. As the meeting organizer, it's your job to make sure that you stick to purpose. Also, when you're creating your purpose for the meeting, think about what you're really doing here. Meetings really should be for making decisions or bringing work product together that people can't do on their own.
Too many times we bring together a meeting and we're trying to do the work at the meeting. And there are times when you need to do that, and that's okay, but make sure that that's the purpose of your meeting and that it's more of a working group kind of scenario and everyone understands it's not a decision meeting. Tip number 2 is to have an agenda for your meeting. And this is a little bit more work up front for you as the meeting organizer, but it really pays off in the end. Every decision you're going to make should be on that agenda. Every item you need to cover, whether that's information or a presentation that needs to be part of that decision-making process, needs to be on that agenda. And just like setting a time limit for the overall meeting we talked about earlier, make sure you set a time limit for each item on the agenda. Now, there are times that the decision is going to be critical and you need to go over that time limit, but as the meeting organizer, it's our job to make sure we keep everything on time and moving so we can get people out and on to their next thing. Tip number 3 is to manage the guest list to your meeting. And you mainly want to do this because you want to get the right people in the room who are going to help you make the decisions that you need to make. So whether that's someone who has a presentation to make, information to share, or someone who has a stake in the decision that's going to be made, it's going to impact them in some way, you want to get all those people in the room to hear their positions, get the information, and all make the decision together. Just as important, and maybe even more so, is to keep the wrong people out of the room. And this happens in big organizations. People hear a meeting's going on, they show up, they're interested in what's going on, but they might not really have a stake in the decision or be up to speed enough on the issue to really contribute. But sometimes that does take time, getting that up to speed and hearing their thoughts on the issue. So remember, as a meeting organizer, it's our job, get everyone in the room who's going to be impacted by the decision, get all the stakeholders in the room, get the right people in, but make sure we keep the wrong people out. Tip number 4 for effective meetings, and I cannot emphasize this one enough because it happens all the time. Do not engage in speculation or encourage speculation of facts and information that you need to make your decision. If you really need a piece of information to go forward making the decision as the group, go get it, whether it's in real time or it makes sense to adjourn the meeting and assign someone to go get the right information and bring it back to the group at a later date to make the decision. Speculation just sends things in circles and people trying to prove each other wrong. Don't engage in speculation. Get the facts and information you need to make your decision, put it in front of the group, make the decision together. So these 4 tips have been kind of geared towards if you're the meeting organizer. And a lot of times meetings are frustrating because we are not the meeting organizer. We don't have control of what's going on. Bonus tip for you today. If you're not the meeting organizer and you see things going off the rails, try to help the meeting organizer apply some of these tips. If you found this helpful, please share it with a friend or coworker. Follow us on social media, and we would love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our website, evilgeniusleadership.com. Click on that link below in the comments. That'll let you download our free Leadership Development Plan workbook, and that'll help you set your goals and make a plan to achieve them over the next 2, 5, and 10 years. Thanks for watching today. I really appreciate it. And remember, the future is out there. Lead the way.
Welcome to Geeks Are Sexy. I'm Michelle Davis, your host, and you're watching live in Las Vegas on WCOBM.TV. I am here with Jody T. Hart, the owner of Jody T. Hart Fitness. How you doing, Jody?
I'm doing wonderful, Michelle. Thank you for having me again.
Welcome back to the show. We're going to talk all about Jody T. Hart Fitness and how she started, all about her journey, her entrepreneurial spirit, and everything in between, because when it comes to this lady, you can tell she's got her hands full. Literally. These fur babies of hers are just her joy and pride. Isn't that right, Jody?
They are.
What's their names? Let's give a shout out.
This is Cleopatra, my Morkie, and this over here is Chloe. She's the Maltese. So, and they love people and have been at many of my events that I have been at, so you might see them around town as well.
So let's talk about, you've been around town going and socializing and networking, and you actually have a couple events coming up soon.
I do. So on June 20th, I will be at the Vegas Pause for a Cause event, which is at the Rendezvous Restaurant on the corner of Decatur and Sahara, and that will be from 6 to 9. It's a nonprofit charity organization for the forgotten fur babies like these two.
Aww.
So it's a free event. Please come out. I will be there. I will be sampling out some protein bars, and these two little girls will be there as well.
Oh, they're so much fun. I love their little dresses. So cute. This one is a little shy. That one is a little cray-cray.
Yeah, she eats too many protein bars, as you can see. And loves chicken.
So, Jody, we were talking a little bit about your fitness and how you are all gung-ho into fitness, working out all the time. You've been on several magazines, and you've been all over the place when it comes to your fitness, when it comes to competing, being in every single kind of genre when it comes to health and fitness. And talk about that a little bit.
I started my fitness career almost 20 years ago and did 42 fitness competitions.
Wow.
I have 76 titles in different fitness, figure, bikini, sports model competitions. I did win the Natural Olympia twice, and I retired about 5 years ago.
It's amazing.
One of those decisions where I did a lot, I loved it, I had a great time, and it was time to move on to do something else. And I think my perception of fitness has changed over the years, where I used to think it was all about diet, workout, compete, and now I've changed it to more of a balance between the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical well-being as well, because it's all about being healthy from the inside out, meaning what you put in your body is going to radiate on the outside. So it comes with your thoughts, how you treat yourself every day, the balance of your emotions, the mental stability as well, and obviously the physical as well.
I love all your inspirational quotes, all your positive messages on your social media, always telling people to go out and do something for yourself, take an hour for yourself every day and do something special for yourself. And actually, if you go to Jody T. Hart Fitness, you can see all about her and her adventures as well. Now, we'll talk lightly about how you're looking for brand ambassadors for your company. Give more information about that, if you don't mind.
So I am, and it's going to be in conjunction, obviously, with my protein bars, the Empower bars. I am currently working on some new things. I haven't announced that quite yet. It'll be about a month yet. And I will be looking for ambassadors to obviously expand the company. So I'm looking for not necessarily just fitness women or men, basically anybody that kind of loves my perspective on being healthy from the inside out.
Absolutely. You know, it's really hard to find an energy bar nowadays that has no sugar alcohol or something that's really nasty in it. And can you kind of go over lightly about the ingredients of your bars and the hard work that you've put into them?
Absolutely. So the main ingredient in my bar is whey protein isolate. It is hormone-free, lactose-free whey protein. So I don't put any milk protein or calcium caseinate in the bar. And the only sweetener is stevia. So there is no sucralose, no sugar alcohols, none of that stuff. And it is obviously high fiber, high protein, low carbs, very low sugar. So the only sugar is from the organic nut butters that I use.
So I found Jody on Facebook actually, and I was watching a lot of her videos. If you go to her page and you watch her videos, you can really see how into fitness, not only for the motivation, but for the nutrition side as well. She's put so much of your heart and soul into these bars, and you're kind of looking at doing a little revamping. You've brought on a new business partner.
I have, yes.
And so that's going to be exciting. You're coming on every month to Geeks Are Sexy to kind of talk about what's happening in your life. And as an entrepreneur, how do you feel when you first started your business? Were you scared? Were you nervous? What were some of the things you went through when you figured, I'm going to do something on my own and do this?
Oh boy, I'll be honest, I was completely scared, like most of you are, to start your own business, because I was working a full-time job, and instead of buying houses and cars and taking trips, I was taking all my money and putting into my business with the hopes that you can either succeed or you can fail. And I've never been a quitter. I may have failed a couple times, but I never stop. So it was scary, and I've had some bumps in the road along the way, but I had to keep pushing through, and it's been worth it. So if I can give any advice to anybody that has a passion for whatever, idea, project, starting a business, go for it. You have nothing to lose, I promise you.
That's awesome. And so if anybody is interested in joining the brand ambassador program that she has going on, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Please email me at jody@empowerbars.com. That's with the hyphen, so jodi@empower.com.
Awesome. And do you have a last word of advice when it comes to women going out and doing their own thing, whether it's fitness or not, just being an entrepreneur and standing up for yourself? What words of advice would you give?
My advice is you only have one life and you need to go for it, because you will regret it later on. And yes, you're going to struggle a couple times, but I promise you, if you put your heart, your soul, and your passion into it, you will succeed.
I love that. Thanks, Jody, so much for coming on
Thank
Geeks
you.
Are Sexy. And don't forget, she has a couple events coming up, so if you want to meet these cuties over here, talk about Empower Bars, maybe even talk to Jody about her fitness and how she started out being a competitor, go ahead and give those dates and the places again, if you don't mind.
Yes, June 20th, Vegas Paws events at the Rendezvous Restaurants in Las Vegas from 6 to 9 p.m. And the other event I'm doing is Kiss for Kids. It's a charity fundraiser for underprivileged children, and that will be on Thursday, June 22nd at Boca Park from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have been motivated, inspired. Just think about some things on the side that maybe you have as a dream or a goal that you wanted to kind of bring out of the box. Try it again. You never know what you can do. So, JodyTHeartFitness.com. She'll be here again next month on Geeks Are Sexy. You're watching right here on WCOBM.TV, and we'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the Online.
Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Hi, Yelling Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Welcome to Geeks Are Sexy. I'm Michelle Davis, your host. You're watching live in Las Vegas at WCOBM.TV. When it comes to partying in Las Vegas, do you want to know who to hire? It's this guy right here. Bachelor parties, bachelor parties, bachelor parties. That's what we're going to discuss today, because we're talking about guys and the girls. We're talking about pool parties, might sprinkle up about nightclubs, but all about partying in Vegas. Who to hire? It's this guy.
Well, thank you for having me.
Brian Pfeiffer. He's the owner of Surreal Nightclub and Nightlife, and as well BachelorVegas.com. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again.
So it's been a year. I haven't seen you. Time goes by fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't think it's quite been a year, but it's been a little while.
About that.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in the party nightlife?
We're in kind of the heart of the busy season here. It's June and it's hot.
Yes, it is.
It's very hot.
Yes, it is.
I think it's about 105 today. A little windy.
So let's talk about some hot stuff. I want to talk about pool parties, the top 10 pool parties actually.
Okay.
And we're going to get started with this video, so watch this.
Hi, I'm Brian Pfeiffer, and welcome to SurrealNightlife.com. You've reached our Vegas page, and we're glad to have you. I bet you're coming to Vegas and you're looking for nightclubs, day clubs, or strip clubs. Well, guess what? We have all of them on our website, and we can tell you all the deals that are going on for tables, bottle service, and tickets.
So welcome back to Geeks Are Sexy. So Brian, when did you create Bachelor Vegas?
Well, Bachelor Vegas was actually created about 12 years ago. I've been in business for about 15.
Okay.
And just in the last year, I was able to purchase the domain and the company.
Awesome. So who are your typical clients for Bachelor Vegas?
Well, I have, international, U.S.-based, typically anybody that's going to be coming to Vegas and is having a bachelor party. Those are the people that would like generally hit me up and, look for, entertainment. I put machine guns and exotic cars and
that's cool.
Strip clubs, nightclubs, pools, you name it.
You name it. That's awesome. And be it that you can basically do a party anytime, 365 basically, almost, but when is the best time to book in Vegas for a bachelor party?
Well, we can always do the last minute stuff, but obviously we prefer to do stuff, booked in a little bit of an advance, at least a couple, maybe two to 4 weeks.
Is there a season that's best to book?
Well, bachelor parties actually come year round, but obviously the pool season goes from like middle of March till about the end of September, and that's generally the busy season. So you have the pools and the nightclubs then instead of just the nightclubs and the strip clubs.
And so let's say it's a group of 10 guys. Typically there's the bachelor and then there's the best man who takes care of everything. How much money should they bring?
Well, we can cater to anybody's budget, but I would say to really go ham on a group of 10 guys.
Have fun.
Yeah, I mean, if each guy can do like $1,000, that's 10 grand you're playing with. That's a pretty good weekend. If the group's got a little bit more.
And that's the entire weekend.
Yeah, that's the entire weekend.
You can't blow that in one night, but for typical...
I mean, if the guys could do $2 grand a guy and they had, like, say, a $20K budget, we can really do some nice tables and some pretty fun stuff.
That's a good time in Vegas.
When you divide it up 10 ways, it's not that bad. It sounds like a lot of money, but
no, it's the whole weekend. I mean, this is a lifetime memory that you're never going to forget. So you might as well go out with the bang, right?
Exactly.
Now, what are the different packages that you offer?
We do everything from, basically setting up your, limo, pick it up at the airport. Sometimes guys want a stripper in their limo.
They want the whole 9 yards.
We do a suite. We've done suite parties before. Obviously just the standard nightclub, day club, strip club, machine guns, off-roading, ATVs, you name it. We do just about everything.
That's amazing.
Generally guys are like, well, they don't think about it. If you're coming from UK or Australia, they call it a bucks party in Australia and a stag in the UK.
I did not know that.
These guys, they come in, they don't have any contacts at all.
Right.
So instead of like trying to reach out to like 10 different places and try to book all this stuff, which could be a real headache, you can come to me or my company and we go ahead and just take care of all your bookings.
So bachelorvegas.com, we have a testimonial video from one of your clients. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, well, Evan was his name, and he's kind of a big deal. He sold his company for it was like some kind of app or something. He sold for a lot of money, and he's a big deal now. He comes out, he does all his bookings with me. I have a number of guys like that, and he pretty much doesn't even like question anything I say. He's just like, whatever you think we should do, that's what we're gonna do.
So let's play the video.
Huge shout out to Brian Pfeiffer. Thank you again and again for setting up my brother's bachelor party. You ran point on everything. You made me not have to worry about anything. You let me audible when we needed to, and you organized everything to be a perfect 10 for a weekend. He had the best time ever. I had the best time ever, and so did all of his boys. So thank you again for everything.
So again, if you have a bachelor party, come to Las Vegas, go to bachelorvegas.com, hire Brian Pfeiffer, and you have, upcoming Labor Day weekend is coming up.
Labor Day's big, Halloween's big, and then of course you got New Year's. Those are probably the big three in the next
So top 3 rules. If you're going to a pool party, you're going to be around a lot of hot chicks and you're with a big group of guys. What are like the top 3 rules you need to follow?
Well, I would say the first thing is you need to come hydrated.
Okay.
Wear sunscreen.
Okay.
Don't act like a butt.
A butt, an asshole. There you go. All right. So, Brian, thank you so much for stopping back on Geeks Are Sexy.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you come back with some of your girls from Surreal Nightlife or, Bachelor Vegas or something like that. So, stick around, guys, for next time right here. That's on Geeks Are Sexy with Brian For Real. We're on WCOBM.TV. We'll be right back.
Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Larry Allen Brooks.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks.
Danny Vegas time.
Welcome to Geeks Are Sexy. I'm Michelle Davis, your host, and we are live in Las Vegas at WCOBM.TV. I'm here with a whole group full of beautiful ladies, and that is the crew at the Mirror Salon. We're talking about eyes today. All about the eyes, the windows to the soul, right? And better yet, the owner, Tamara Frigno, is here in the house. How you doing, Tamara? Welcome back.
Thank you for having me again.
So glad to have you back. Now, I love your hair. It's perfect for summer. Who did your hair?
Rachel.
Rachel Powers has got the mighty powers. How you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you're new to the Mirror Salon.
Yes, I've been there about a month.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
What do you think of it?
I absolutely love it. Basically, from the first moment I walked in there, I knew I could call it home.
We won't go from where you came from,
right?
But you did go to Paul Mitchell, and you did all of your homework, and you are legit, and you are all good. And so now you have your own space.
Yes, I do.
So what is all that you do? Because she did my eyelashes yesterday. Let me tell you, not having to do eyes when you wake up, you can look in the mirror, don't have to put on the mascara, don't have to do the eyeshadow or even the eyeliner. Eyelash extensions. Rachel, thank you so much for hooking me up.
No problem. It was my pleasure.
So you do eyelashes?
I do eyelashes.
Hair?
I do hair. I do cutting. I do makeup.
Awesome. You do it all.
Yeah. Hair extensions.
Really?
Tape-ins, bonded.
Wow. I love your Instagram page.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is it? Rachel Powers?
011.
011.
Yes.
Yeah, so go check out all of her work, because you do some hair before and after pictures and your work and so forth.
Yes, I do.
Now, we have an international catwalk event going on, girlfriend.
Yes, we do.
We need to talk about that. Tell me all about it.
It's the J Summer event.
Okay.
It's going to be at Hoover Dam on June 26th.
Hoover Dam.
I know.
Catwalk at the Hoover Dam. Are they going to kind of go to the very edge and then turn around and come back or something?
Something like that. Let's hope they don't go over the edge. Just
no,
I
was like, don't slip.
Don't fall.
No, but that's so awesome. I mean, what a unique place to have a catwalk event.
Yes, we have an international model, Jessica Min, and she will actually be there doing
Hey,
the main
Scott,
part.
show us that hottie that she sent us that email. Can you flip the screen so we all can look at it too? We like to look at the picture of the hot girl. Yeah, look at her. Yes. Ow. So tell us more about the event, the date, the time, where people can buy tickets.
Well, actually, if you check online for the J Summer event, there's a limited amount of tickets that are available.
Okay.
It's also going to be, I think, at 8 o'clock in the morning on June 26th. So it's very, very early in the morning.
Wow. Is there a .com people can go to?
You can try our Facebook page.
Yeah.
We might have a little bit more information at that point in time about it, but it's a J Summer event.
And it's at 8 a.m., so they better have mimosas. Seriously. So, Rachel, what do you think about the heat in the summer, and what are things that are popular nowadays? Besides your nails, you actually changed your nail color.
I did.
You had them different yesterday.
I did. Yeah, we have an amazing girl that
I can't keep up with this girl.
That works at the salon. She does amazing nails, and I always let her experiment and have creative.
I love
freedom,
that.
So, yeah.
So that's the new color of today.
Yes. Till I
love
ruin
that.
them from doing hair color.
That's awesome.
Which that will happen.
Absolutely love it.
One of them's a unicorn. Did you see that?
Yeah. So it's like, if you, I don't know if you can see it, but if you touch it.
Oh my God! She's got a unicorn horn as a nail. People, telling you what, you need to go to the Mirror Salon and get the hook up, because you guys do everything.
Everything.
Everything. Let's talk about everything that you do. Not you, but the Mirror Salon. You pretty much do everything. When it comes to the brows, the mmbrows.com, scalp. What is it?
mmscalp.com.
mmsalon.com. This lady right here, the boss. So,
well, we do everything, including hair, nails, makeup, eyelash extensions, facials, threading, waxing, and of course permanent makeup.
Love it. They're in Henderson, right off the Valley Verde Freeway. You just take that exit. They're right there in the little shopping center, and I love the fact that you even have your son working there, which was awesome. We got to give a shout out to the little cute guy that I said hi to yesterday.
Hi, Chris.
Hi,
Hey.
Hey.
Love it. So give the hours of the Mirror Salon.
Okay, this is always the fun part. Stick to it. Okay, I got it. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it is 10 to 7.
Okay.
Wednesday and Thursdays, it's 9:30 to 9.
Okay.
Fridays, it's 9:30 to 8. And then Saturdays are 10 to 8.
And you guys can cater to big parties too.
Absolutely.
See, I love that. So if you have a group of ladies, party, celebration, anniversary, breakup, I don't know, anything. Just
any reason.
Just any reason. You guys can cater to like a big group of girls.
We can, absolutely.
What I love is the salon. The nail salon is kind of like you have your inner seats that kind of go around, and you have your foot spas and the whole pedicure thing. And then you have the nail salons outside of that. So it's very nicely decorated, people. The decor there is just top notch. Got to go check it out. And you guys have tons of products there for sale too.
Absolutely.
So let's go over some of the products you sell there.
Oh, we have Moroccan oil.
Love that.
We just recently got Living Proof. So it's Living Proof that we're there.
Living Proof, that's right. They got it. I got you checked. So, again, the Mirror Salon, I have so much fun going there. It's better to take a friend so you guys can hang out together and just spend the day getting pampered. I think there's no better way to have a day off, just treating yourself, relaxing, spoiling yourself, and then the best part is going into a salon and saying all your stuff about life that you need to get off your chest, right? And then leaving beautiful.
Yes, we're
That's like the best part.
too.
I love it.
That's what we love.
Yes. So again, check them out. They're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and they are located in Henderson off the Valley Verde exit. So go check them out. .com, mmsalon.com, and they are also at mmbrows.com and mmscalp, which is a part of microblading, tattoo permanent makeup that we talked about a little bit last month. But again, let's talk about that a little bit. So I had microblading done, everybody. I was geeked out about it, and I went in yesterday for a touch-up. Some of the things I didn't know is that for all the men out there that maybe have like slight balding and you want to kind of have a little color touch-up. Now, is it just for guys who has a shaved head?
No, it isn't. It's actually for women also. So if women have thinning hair, then all you can do the same thing, scalp, and so actually it makes it look fuller. So
I like
it just gives the appearance.
Yeah, so I mean, I know even people my age who have filled in areas with makeup, and nowadays it's, you know, you don't have to do that. You can just get permanent makeup, take care of it, it's done. And especially when it comes to the brows, ladies, you know how you like to have those nice defined brows? Like to wake up and just look refreshed? You never have to even touch them with any makeup or anything. That's what microblading is all about. I tell people it's kind of like permanent makeup, but it's a little bit different. Can you tell them why it's just a little bit different?
It's because I use a handheld tool and I dip it in the ink and pigment and actually create a hair stroke, so it looks very natural and gives the appearance of actual hair.
Yeah. So I love my brows, love my eyelashes. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for
And definitely go to the Mirror Salon. Just check them out. Walk in. We got to give a shout out to the front girl, your BFF.
Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne. So again, stop by, have fun, and ladies, you want to give any shout outs to any employees, any of your friends?
Brenna, Chris, Jill,
Amber, Tali,
Brittany,
Sierra, Julie.
The whole list.
We got them all.
There we go.
No, wait, we've got
Janice.
I know, make sure we get everybody.
And we got Jill, right?
Yes, we got Jill.
Okay, cool. All right, so everybody, hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for coming back on Geeks Are Sexy. I can't wait to see you when I get my refill for my eyelashes.
Definitely.
Maybe have you back on Geeks Are Sexy again if tomorrow will let you.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you guys next time right here on WCOBM.TV on Geeks Are Sexy.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's just what I like. Oh, I'd love that.
Welcome to the Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Larry Allen Brooks.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Variety Talk live in Las Vegas. Happy to see everybody, and I hope that you're happy to see us back, okay? It's been quite some time, and we've taken a little hiatus here and there as we're entering the summer months and coming out of spring. It's been quite a busy time for us here at Variety Talk. Thank you, everyone, for hanging in with us. And I want to take a special time out to just thank everybody, all of the Facebook fans, for your beautiful birthday wishes. Oh, my goodness. And you know what? I did not have an opportunity to say thank you to everybody because there were just way too many of them. But I want to take the time right now to, from the bottom of my heart, give my sincerest appreciation for the time that everyone has taken out to wish me a happy birthday. It was such a busy month that I just did not even have an opportunity. So thank you very much. Everyone, welcome to the show. This is going to be a part 2 of our series of someone very special. This gentleman has served in not one war, not 2 wars, but how about 3 of them? Okay. So we've got a lot to talk about. He's an author. He's a member of the Buffalo Soldiers. This gentleman has done just about everything. So I'm not going to give it all away, but when we come back, you'll get an opportunity to see just what we're talking about. I am your host, Lady Linda. Welcome to the show. We'll be right back. Hi everybody, we're back and welcome back to the show. And then just in case you're wondering about me and all this red, I don't think I've ever worn red on the show before. And it's not that it's not a great color, but what I've got to match up with this very well decorated gentleman here sitting to the left of me. And so without further ado, I want to take the time and have the honor to present someone who means an awful lot to me and actually to the world because of the many changes that he has made in his lifetime. And I'm going to let him tell you how old he is, okay, if he wants to do that with us. But I'd like to introduce a former U.S. Petty Officer of the U.S. Navy. He's also a member of the Buffalo Soldiers. He's author of the book To the IC, and he has served in World War II, Korea, and in Vietnam. So without further ado, this is somebody that we've got to talk to today right here on Variety Talk. I'd like to introduce to you the one, the only Trooper R.B.L. Hambrick. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, it's so great to have you here.
It's great to be here with you.
And you know what I'm so pleased about is each and every time you've come, we've only been able to get a snippet, just about that much of who you are, what you do, and we promised the Variety Talk family a series. So today, guess what? We've got the show.
Oh my Lord, hallelujah.
We can take our time and we can talk about all of the magnificent imprints that you have made in your lifetime. And not even talking about the book To the IC, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but just in your years of service to the world, to the country, to so many people. I've only known you for a short time, but in just seeing what you are doing and have done in this period of time floors me. And I can't wait to share that with the Variety Talk family. So first of all, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I'm R.B.L. Hambrick, a veteran of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. And during the war, I did not drop out of school. I was liberated by the Navy in 1945.
Whoa!
And I was drafted, and I went to my first place there after being inducted into the Dallas, Texas. And then I took a bus there to Bainbridge, Maryland. And that is where I went there for a period of about 13 weeks of boot camp and training. And as you might know and look back and see, in those times the Navy was all the whole branches was very segregated at that time. And so all the blacks and the Negroes, they had to go to one particular platoon to train.
Oh, wow.
And all the others went to another one. And also when they come to eat at the mess hall and things of that nature. And I can never forget when we caught the bus out of Dallas, Texas, going to Bainbridge, Maryland, and someone said, "Oh, there's a black man on here." And they started talking about how segregated it was and things of that nature. And I spent 13 weeks there at that particular training base, and that's right out of Washington, D.C., Bainbridge, Maryland. And from there on, I went to, when I broke training, they put me on a train going from the East Coast to the West Coast. And that way, everybody had their bunks and things like that, and they would eat in the porter cars and things like that in the dining room. But the black could not eat or sleep. They had to sleep in their chairs.
You had to sleep in the chairs?
Yes. You did not have a bunk over your head where you could sleep and things like that of that nature. And this ship that you might see, can I show this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me just back up for those. You can keep lifting it up while you're doing this. I want to just kind of summarize a little bit your story. So what you're saying is that you came in during the time of heavy-duty segregation.
Yes.
And these are some of the things that you had to be confronted with as a United States military officer.
Yes.
You actually had to sleep sitting up in the chairs while everyone else laid down and slept like normal people. You had to eat in different quarters.
Yes.
And so the black soldiers and the white soldiers were completely separated, segregated.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, and you were going to show us something here on this board. This is pretty big, so I don't know what. Are you capturing it, Scotty? Okay, so what are we looking at here? Because you've got a nice wide array of things happening here.
Well, I'll look at this. I'll go up here first, in this left-hand corner here.
And that's your book, To Thee I See.
To Thee I See.
Okay.
And that little picture you see on there was my, they didn't have a picture of my dad because he left home shortly after I was born.
And I'm just going to point it out, it's this one, correct?
Yes, yes. So,
all right.
So that's me and my uncle. And over here to your left.
Your uncle was fine.
Yeah, he was a handsome man.
And I can't wait to show the audience how you looked back then, too. You were like, okay, you weren't short-stopping yourself there, Trooper Arby.
And thank God for what you're saying, and I'm 90 years old.
Okay.
As of November last year.
I couldn't wait for you to tell. I wasn't going to tell it, but all right, there we go.
And this picture over here, you will see here, my picture and a Filipino. We are in that little galley cooking food for the captain of that ship.
Interesting. So what was it like for other cultures here? You have a gentleman who's a Filipino. Were there other cultures outside of African American and just Caucasian within the military?
Yes, if there was from all branches of service of that. But most of the black only went to cook as a steward.
Cooks or stewards?
Yeah.
Those were the positions for African American men.
Right.
And at that time, excuse me, colored men.
Colored men.
Colored men.
Yes. Thank you so much. And this picture where you see here was taken, it was Frank Knox, the Secretary of the Navy under Harry Truman. I manned the rail for him on top of this aircraft carrier in Norfolk, Virginia.
And this is the aircraft carrier, correct?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Aircraft carrier. And we stood at parade rest at 9 degrees for 2.5 hours, long as the president was in the area.
Wow. What president was it?
President Truman.
President Truman.
Harry Truman.
So he came and visited the vessel, and everybody, and African Americans had to stand on one side, the Caucasians stood on the other, and you stood for 2 hours while he was there.
2 hours, yes, yes. And this picture, what you see right here from the left, right by your heart there, you see those planes they have on those on that flight deck?
Yes.
Well, his father was the one that invented the folding wing for the aircraft, for the plane.
Oh my goodness.
He never did get the recognition.
A black man. This is an African American man, correct?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Herman T. Grimes.
Herman Grimes.
Yes.
And never got the recognition, and of course it's not in the history books.
Most likely not. But his son, right here, he was at my book signing, and he has written a book also himself, trying to get his father's recognition even until this day. And you look right up above there, in 2015, I was the Grand Marshal for the Martin Luther King Parade. And
oh my goodness.
You see me right there. And,
wow.
And one young man on there, I don't know whether you can see him or not, he's standing right behind me, but he lives here in Henderson, Nevada right today. He was a first-class steward also.
Okay.
But he went in just before me. And so when I went to Tacoma, Washington to put this in 1946, and he was ready to get out of the Navy, and he went on to college after that. And he was president of about 6 different colleges in his lifetime.
Oh my goodness.
And he is
oh my gosh.
He is now 95 years old.
And he's wow.
Yes.
So you two are still bosom buddies, and you both made it through and made major accomplishments. He was the president of 5 universities?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That is outstanding. And look at you as the marshal. That was outstanding to be the marshal in the parade like that as well.
That was a great day.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Great day. Yes, it was. And this picture, I go back up here into this corner up here, taken with this lady you see right behind me.
Yeah, I see those lovely ladies smiling at you.
She was the first principal in the state, black principal of a school in the state of Nevada.
Oh my
goodness, and that was when I was speaking at the library. Just her right here. Her right here.
Yeah, well, she's blushing. She's looking mighty proud of you too, by the way.
And I go by and see her every once in a while. And this group down here, I like to go to, say, 70, and 75. So 60, what I'm talking about, 1960. The Korean peoples came to Las Vegas in 2012 to thank the U.S. Military, U.S. government for helping them win the war in that. And this is what I received, this medal right here. You notice I'm the only African American in this whole group in Southern Nevada.
Oh my goodness.
To wear this Korean peace medal. And I don't know whether you know too much about the Korean, the little angel.
No, I'm not familiar with the little angels.
They only perform for heads of state like President of the United States, and also the United Nations and the United Kingdom and all of those places. But in 2012, they came through here to thank the U.S., thank us for helping them win that war. And they made a 60, they made a state, every state in the Union a tour. And I was the speaker to send them off from Las Vegas down at the Grant Sawyer building. They had a great big double-decker bus on there, and they took these pictures. And another thing, getting back to these little angels, they can only serve a certain period of time. When they get 15 years old, they have to branch out from that. That's the oldest a little angel can get.
Oh, okay.
And that's on this one.
All right.
And
oh my goodness. Okay, so I can see this one up here too. Who's all these people at the table?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that goes with that. As a colored man and a black steward and a Filipino, they said we do nothing but serve, cook, and a steward in the Navy. And this is where we served dignitaries. And a lot of time I would go from flagship to flagship. And this is where you see me down here on a heavy cruiser. That was CA-135, the USS Los Angeles.
Okay.
And then after that, I went back to a duty. You probably see something else I talked about. Carl Brashear, he was on this ship with me also. And he became the first black master diver. You probably heard when you
Yes, Carl Bashir, of course. And the name is very familiar now, isn't he?
Yes, yes.
Associated with one of the other Buffalo Soldiers, correct? So did you know him at that time, the diver?
The one that was... yes, yes.
Wow.
I didn't know him at that time.
Oh, okay.
No, I met him at the Buffalo Soldiers meeting.
Oh, my goodness.
And him and I was honored to be an honorary member of the Buffalo Soldiers at the same unit at the same time. And since you mentioned that, thank you for mentioning that. Last week, at the Buffalo Soldiers meeting, his son and his son's wife, they are part of that unit. He is, and they come from Arizona down here once a month to meet with the Buffalo Soldiers. So they had their great-grandson of Wardell Stephen Wardell Stephen, and he was joining the Navy. And I signed the book and gave it to him last Saturday.
That is precious. That is precious. I mean, so it's like full circle. Full circle.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. What an amazing story. So what was it like to be a mover and a shaker back in the days when you couldn't shake too much and you couldn't move too much because why? You were a black man in a white man's world. We're going to have you answer that when we come back. Everybody, you're watching Variety Talk live in Las Vegas. We're here with the Honorable Trooper RBL Hambrick, and boy, does he have some stories to tell us. So we'll be right back.
Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Larry Allen Brooks.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks.
Danny Vegas time.
Welcome to the Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Larry Allen Brooks.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks.
Danny Vegas time.
Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Artie Ellen Brewis.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Welcome to the Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Artie Ellen Brewis.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
All right, everybody, we're back, and thanks for your patience during such a very long break. But anyway, it gave us a chance to R&R back here for a little while. I hope all of you out there are taking very good care of yourselves this summer and making sure that, including me, we have to stay hydrated, right? And make sure you put the sunblock on, and particularly everybody out there in Las Vegas, okay? Because it is, man, you can get chopped up out here. So I'm a Pasadena kind of girl, so I don't know about all this this Vegas weather. But anyway, back to the show. And we again just are honored to have you here with us in our series, actually. Did you realize you were in the series of the Legends, Trooper Arby?
Do I feel like a legend? You make me feel like a legend, yeah.
Well, I'm glad, and that is the whole purpose, because guess what? You are. And we are so happy to have you here with us today. And I mean, we have celebrated entertainers, singers, we've had everybody. We've had the Fifth Dimension on, we've had on I don't even want to go through all of the people that we've had to celebrate Legends. Variety Talk in Vegas and in California. We never really had someone like you. So we're so happy to have you on board and sharing with us your history that is history. And it's monumental. So we're just taking our time right now. And you've got something in your hand. You want to share that with us?
You brought something to my attention when you mentioned Pasadena.
Okay.
This picture right here, up here in the right-hand corner, this is one of the old men of the Montford Marine. And they was in the float 2 years ago in the parade there in Pasadena, California.
Can we get let's see if we can get that up on our camera to see. I don't know, it's kind of small, so we may or may not be able to do that. But let's turn it around real quick.
Okay.
And it's the picture up in the left-hand corner.
And that's the Father's Day card for all the veterans today. This year.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
A very nice Father's Day. Oh, thank you, Scotty. Now we can get a chance to see. So everybody, it's this picture, and this is the Father's Day card, which is a great segue. So why don't you share with us, and now that we've come from Korea to World War II to Vietnam, and we fast forwarded and came up to 2017, what are you doing now? Because, and of course, we're going to get back to the book because that is just like priceless. But tell us a little bit about how you're working with the vets right now.
I meet every Wednesday at the Fargo Bank, Wells Fargo Bank from Water Street in Henderson, Nevada. That was the young man that you just talked to on the phone. He is the one that started that group.
Okay, and let us not be remiss without giving his name. His name is Jericho Gozum. All right? And he is with the Vets Helping Vets Support Group.
Yes.
Okay,
and
tell us about them.
2 years ago, a little better than a year ago, we had what they call all of the veteran top brass. That's up in Carson City. They came to Las Vegas for a workshop, and that was when I met Jericho. And after that meeting, Jericho formed the Vet Helping Vet Meet Vet.
Okay, all right.
We're about the only group that they got several other groups. We don't do any paperwork there at all, but we just let them know the knowledge of and information of how to file their claims and to get their benefit. You probably heard them talk about a lot of those, that the PTSD, and a lot of those.
Yeah, that's another subject all by itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you work with the post-traumatic syndrome.
Post-traumatic stress, yes. And that was what we were hoping to have you come one Wednesday at 10 o'clock.
I'm
with
there.
Your picture and look at that particular group.
Absolutely.
And we have some that has been without benefit for maybe 8, 9, 10 years. But if they know the right information and the right thing to go and to get through that's why they have all of this backlog that they have, because when they don't feel they from their claim out properly, they will just throw it into a backlog and start all over. And sometimes some of them fall into that backlog for 9, 10 years.
Oh my goodness. You know, one thing, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is just so important, because I continuously hear people say, and I've known this too, about how the vets just get shortchanged all of the time in terms of what they're really supposed to have. So one of the things you're sharing with us today is the backlog on the paperwork. If
Yes.
something goes wrong, it could be months or weeks before they actually are being taken care of.
Taken care of.
Also, those who are post-traumatic, that's a very serious situation. And so they've got to wait a long time if things are not going properly. So that's part of what you do along with Jericho.
Jericho is the founder of that.
Is help facilitate the
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Okay.
And you found a lot of those by helping them go the way he does. All of that. When I went, I just went there to be at one meeting. And when I heard what I heard there and what I learned, I've been going ever since.
Wow.
Supporting him.
So what was the biggest thing that stood out to you when you went to one of those meetings?
To hear how so many of them was committing suicide because they wasn't getting their help and things like that. And a few months ago, we had one that come in there and he just got all upset because of the medication and things that they were giving him and stuff like that. You probably know that now some of them are taking marijuana.
Yes, yes.
It's not legal, I don't think, in the state of Nevada.
Well, it will be within weeks, from what I understand. Yeah.
It will be. And a lot of them, when they get on that drug and stuff like that, and they just can't cope with. Some of them just can't cope with it any longer.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That is so heartbreaking. So that is your mission today. That's your mission today, is to make sure that you're getting around to these organizations and making sure that you're helping to expedite whatever needs.
Yes.
Whatever needs attention. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's no cost.
Okay.
No cost.
All right.
We spend our time, our money, transportation, and to train them and to familiar with them what they need.
That's incredible. That's incredible. How can the Variety Talk family help?
Variety
Talk family. How can the audience help you? Is there a number that they can call if they want to volunteer? If they want to donate funds. I noticed that in your book you are giving money, you're giving proceeds of your book to
scholarships
so that they can help with that as well, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's the purpose of that book, and that's where 70% of the money from that whole book goes into the scholarship. I set up a foundation down in Nellis Air Force Base at the bank down there. I took my $1,000 from my savings and opened up that foundation down there.
That's beautiful.
And every book that I sell, $7 automatically goes to the foundation.
Okay, and that's a great segue. Everyone, we talked about this the last time. It's entitled To the IC, and this book is pretty awesome. What's the best part of this biography that you enjoy the most? This is your life, and everybody, it's easy reading. Where can they download? Where can they find this book?
You can get that book personally from me, and if not, I will endorse it when you buy the book from me. But otherwise, you can get that book on Amazon and Creative Space.
I have to read this. This is so cool. R.B.L. Hambrick served 20 years in the United States Navy during 3 war eras: World War II, the Korean War, and Vietnam. From his unit, he is one of the few living plank owners of the 1946 commissioned USS Palu CVE 122 aircraft carriers. He has volunteered his time for over 30 years at convalescent centers, feeding the homeless, and since 1956, he has been a traveling flag bearer for more than 1,000 veteran memorials. He was awarded the War Hero Medal and recognized as an ambassador for peace by the Universal Peace Federation. He's been a member of the Second Baptist Church for 38 years, where he co-founded the Male Chorus. He served as vice chair of the trustee board and was president of the Brotherhood program for 27 years. And in November 2014, the church's hospitality ministry named him the Vietnam of the Year. the Veteran of the Year. And recognition by United States political figures and organizations for his outstanding community efforts led to an appointment by the F Street Coalition to serve on the Southern Nevada Enterprise Community Board. That is so awesome. Oh my goodness, what a resume. What a resume.
Thank you so much.
That is so, and so everyone, to the IC, it gives, you know, from soup to nuts, all 3 wars, you know, from beginning to end. And I love the way you have here a timeless personal account of wisdom beyond your years. So it just goes from step to step, and very easy reading, very interesting, and I absolutely cannot wait to finish the book. I have to be honest, I haven't finished it, so I've got to do some things myself.
You're not the only one.
And it's just so great. So I'm just so magnified, you know, by who you are, what you do, and what you're all about, and you're still living the dream. You're still living it, and we didn't even get an opportunity, but we've got a little bit of time left. And I just want to find out, just in like, you know, a minute or less, what was most significant to you throughout the 3 wars that you served within as an African American man? What stood out the most to you?
I was in the cotton field 16 years before being drafted and liberated into the Navy and anything like that. And that was one of the most outstanding to me, because the only thing we knew to do as boys and little children where we grew up in the South was to pick cotton or to work in somebody's garden or things like that. There was no industry there at all. The only time I got to see any industry was when I was liberated in 1945 and went to Dallas for being inducted into the U.S. Navy. And at that time, since you would say that, talking about that, I would like this picture right here. General B.O. Davis, in 1947, from the State Department, they sent 2 of the highest black ranking officers aboard the ship. And they assigned me to be assigned to them because they didn't want no discrepancy back to the State House, the White House, or the State Department. And these are the 2, Brigadier Benjamin O. Davis. He was the first Brigadier General.
Let's hold it up, see if we can get that in front of the camera quickly again. All right. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do that. All right.
Brigadier General B.O. Davis.
Okay.
And he was the first black, and that's his son you see down there below him.
All right.
And at that time, a particular time in 1947, when they was assigned to me, I was assigned to them aboard that ship.
Thank you, Scotty.
And that was to take them to Monrovia, Liberia for the 100-year celebration of Africa. And his son was the 2nd 4-star general in the Air Force. Chappie James, you see the next page there, he was the first 4-star black general in the Air Force.
Extremely impressive.
And as of today, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not, we have 4 black 4-star generals on duty today. And we have 1 3-star on the staff with President Trump right now. You probably see that Marine sitting up there with those uniforms on, that green one. He is a 3-star general.
Oh my goodness.
And when you see those, General Mack, I think it's the name of the minute that was on yesterday. But anyway, 2 years ago, I was invited to the ROTC to be their special guest. And that's when they, last December, and that's when they first honored and have anybody to wear the new uniform that the Army has now today. You've probably seen that black general sitting right there next to it. Okay, that's the one. And at the last stand down that we had change of command here 2 weeks ago, and Lieutenant Jennings, and he called me he said, I want you to come down if you can come down and be here for the change of command.
Oh, that's
because you was, I guess, at the other one. And at the last stand down we had at Cashman Field, a little young lady came up.
So you were invited to Washington to be right there at the changing over in Washington, correct?
Yes.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That is so awesome.
Yes, that was a few weeks ago. I think I did tell you about that. That they wanted me at the Pentagon on the 19th of June. Are you familiar with what holiday that is, the 19th of June?
Juneteenth.
They call it Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. And you know what? See how quickly the time goes? We are out of time. That is amazing. And see, and your story goes on and on and on. So everybody, Variety Talk family, you just have to read the book, okay? We thought if we had a full hour, we'd be able to just put it all out there. But believe me, everybody, this is great reading. To the IC, Trooper RBL Hambrick, and let's not forget Trish Garon, who was also helpful in writing, and we'll have to talk about her the next time around.
Yes,
so everybody, make sure that we'll probably have you back again for the 4th of July. I mean for Labor Day, and bring it in. But in the meantime, everybody, check out the book. Support your veterans, all right? Support the local veterans, and we are out. I'm your host, Lady Linda Leak, and this is Trooper RBL Hambrick. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
All right.
You are a blessing.
So much.
Yes.
Oh,
you made my day.
And so are you.
Yes.
Thank
you so much.
We're out, everybody. Take care.
Welcome to the Online.
Johnny Stewart and Friends. Slithering Idiot Show.
Are Yelling Bruce?
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Everything on live.
Johnny Stewart and Friends. Slithering Idiot Show.
Yelling Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Welcome. This is